The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Did a great job of sending you to all the amazing festivals the last month. And last week, it was When We Were Young. We sent and qualified everybody, I should say, for the When We Were Young and a Vegas trip. These have been extravagant trips. Amazing. And we have all these people on the line that have qualified, so we're just going to pick one and talk with them. You want to do that, Kenzie?
Yeah.
Let's talk to
Who we got?
Kim and Elgin. Let's talk to your area, neck of the woods.
Ooh, I wonder if it's my neighbor, Kim.
Hey, Kim, what's going on?
Good morning. How are you guys?
Got a toddler or a baby in the car there?
I do. My little daughter, she is 3.
Oh, that's so cute.
Where's she going? Going to daycare, school, something like that?
She's riding her scooter,
Oh,
just playing outside.
this is so wholesome. What a phone call. You know, white picket fence,
Like
looking over at her.
It's like the Hallmark Channel now. It's
know.
great. It's very nice. And so when we were young, you got bands like My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy, Jimmy Eat World. You got Pierce the Veil. Is that your wheelhouse?
That is. It's quote unquote emo music. That's my jam. I love it.
Right on. Well, congratulations, because you're going.
No way.
Way.
Really?
You're going to be the version of yourself, 3 years ago, okay? Without the girl, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome.
Get the full trip, and you go to the When We Were Young festival. It's going to be incredible, and we're so happy for you.
Thank you.
Sounds
You
like
made my week.
sounds like the baby's happy too.
She's not going to be when she finds out that her mom's leaving. I'm sure she's
Right.
not coming with.
I'll be screaming then, but it's fine. Thank you guys so much.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
And sports is brought to you by the Marquee Network. Stream Cubs baseball at watchmarquee.com. Now, both teams in a little bit of a bad stretch. Cubs started a series with the Brewers yesterday. Not a good return for Craig Counsell till Milwaukee. He got totally booed by the crowd there, which I don't understand in a way.
Why?
Because,
I would. Yeah,
But
they
why-
should take that. And they took that personally.
well, the thing is, he did nothing wrong with him except leave for the highest paid manager job in history.
But it's the rivalry.
I
If
get
he
it.
went to the Dodgers, he wouldn't get booed. Do you know what I'm saying?
I get that part, but also I understand booing somebody when they come there if they did something really wrong or were an a-hole. He was a good guy, got offered the most money in the history of baseball to be a manager for the rival. I understand. And
It's the rival. That's just what's touchy about it. I really feel that way.
I totally get it. I understand. And I think people can boo whatever they want. You pay a ticket, you can boo whoever you want when you go to a game. I get that part. But I just remember the Cubs, and I believe it was Cole Hamels who was pitching for the Phillies, had a no-hitter going, and Wrigley Field, this is that 7 years ago? No, but it couldn't have been the World Series. It had to be before that, when the Cubs were really in a bad stretch. And so Wrigley Field stood up and wanted him to get the no-hitter, even though he was a rival with the Phillies. Not a hated rival, like not a typical Brewers-Cubs rivalry. The Phillies-Cubs are not like that. But they were in awe of a no-hitter and wanted to see it at this point, and kind of stood up in his last couple outs, and he got it. The complete game no-hitter. So, I don't know. Craig Counsell,
This is like this. This reminds me of a little bit. This is Brett Favre going from Packers to Vikings.
yeah.
And
yeah.
it's like, why would you spit in the fans' face like that? It's just too much.
But also, he did a lot of good for them. So
Right,
don't
but
you? Yeah.
it's just personal at that
I
point.
know.
This is okay. We cheer like when Rizzo comes back, right? Because he's with the Yankees.
Yeah.
But not for Contreras because with the Cardinals. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
I also want to further contextualize this. They booed him because they played a tribute video to Craig Counsell before the game, which felt highly inappropriate because he didn't leave them.
Oh, did they tribute him?
Yes, they did like a whole. It was like an in memoriam video, but it was just an in memoriam of his Brewers career.
But Wrigley does that. Wrigley does that for past players when they
They've
come
done
back.
that, yeah.
Bryant, Rizzo, all of them got
Yeah.
that.
Now for Contreras.
Yeah, because he was a little bitch about it.
That's right. He was a little bitch about
Well,
it.
Remember?
he talked smack about the Cubs after he
Exactly,
left.
so there's a difference.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think Craig Counsell talked any smack
he
about the
didn't talk
Brewers.
smack, but he did talk about kind of always wanting to be, because that's kind of what Wilson did. Wilson, he was like, I imagined myself as a card. Now we're like, what'd you just say, bitch? What did you imagine yourself as a card? Like, that bothered everybody.
I get it.
He didn't just take a contract. Everyone else got applauded.
I'm probably being hyper to it. I just thought it was a little unnecessary.
Yeah, well, because now this is your coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So you're protecting him like a Rottweiler.
And it's the manager, too. I mean, come on. Baseball is a player sport. The manager doesn't do that much.
I disagree.
Well, you don't think it's important?
I disagree. Also, I did think it was crazy they got the tribute video for the manager. I know Craig Counsell played for the Brewers, but that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
His managerial highlights, like, what do you have, a slow motion video
You
of
pointing.
him? Yeah, like, hey, round third.
Yeah.
You know when they like cover their
Did they
mouths
show
and
him
talk, and they're
driving?
like,
Did they show him driving the work? Yeah. I mean, you're the manager. Ugh, I don't know.
What did it look like? Do we have the highlight reel?
It was a lot of him pointing. Spitting out sunflower seeds, chewing double bubble.
Getting thrown out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a video I want to see.
That's our guy.
Maybe it's just me. Anyway, the Cubs have lost 5 in a row now. They'll run it back tonight. And after losing 5-1, White Sox lost 5-1 to the Blue Jays. Now the White Sox have lost 6 in a row. Blue Jays on the south side again tonight. But we have to hear about Case finally getting the s'mores shake.
Please stop.
The s'mores shake.
It's the Campfire Milkshake.
Okay.
Just say that.
Can you say Campfire Milkshake, Brian?
Campfire Milkshake. So what'd you go, Friday's game?
I went Friday against the Orioles, and we got there really early because the last Sox game I was at was opening day, and I'm unfamiliar with there being a big crowd at Guaranteed Rate. There was obviously a big crowd on opening day, so we were late to the game. We didn't get the milkshake. It was a whole ordeal. We got there super early this time around. For anybody that's going to a White Sox game or has gone this season but hasn't been able to find the milkshake, if you go to the Xfinity Kids Zone, which is in the 300 level, you'll want to be in that area, but it's in the Vizzy Bar right below it. So you'll be in the 100 level in left field. You'll walk up these stairs, and then you'll go to this beautiful bar area that I had never been to before.
Well, you don't drink.
I know, but I've explored the ballpark. I mean, I'm aware of normally what they have, but this is a whole different area that I had never been in before. I don't know if you need a specific ticket to watch a game from there, but it's a gorgeous view. The whole bar area there is great. You get your milkshake, you pay $15 for it, you tip the wait staff, and then you get your Campfire Milkshake. And I have to say, this White Sox team is miserable. I do not like watching them. They have caused me a lot of pain this season. This milkshake is one of the greatest drinks I've ever had. It lives up to the hype and more, and I am not just saying that. Next time you go to a Sox game, pluck down the $15. It is worth every penny.
Woo!
They need to use Khalees. My milkshake brings all the brings all the fans so they are there because that's like
Wait,
the
how's
number
that
one,
go again?
Milkshake brings all the fans because this has got to be the number one draw right now. They got to lead with it.
They should.
They need to lead with the milkshake. They should put out a billboard of the White Sox and just have the milkshake on it.
Oh.
Well,
Awesome.
that'll be useful come after the trade deadline because they're going to get rid of all their players.
Exactly, but like milkshake's still here.
Yeah, milkshake's still here.
I don't know if you know.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
Because 300 level, is there an elevator up there to get up there?
Okay, here's what you do.
I can't remember.
Picture this, Brian. You're in the 100 level. You're in left field.
Right.
There's a stair set that says upstairs to the Vizzy Bar. You have to walk up about 10 steps.
He's done.
And then you're in the 300 level.
He's never going to taste this milkshake.
I can get to the 300 level in 10 steps?
It's just a small stair set. Now, I'm sure it's ADA accessible. There might be an elevator somewhere. I did not ask. I used the stairs. I was able to do it A-okay.
Good for you.
I know. What can I say? I'm a warrior.
All right. Mike Tyson's, quote, doing great after a medical emergency on a flight. This was kind of going down in real time as felt like a Prince thing where he was almost dying on the plane. They asked for doctors, and he's got a fight coming up with Jake Paul. I love how they say the vlogger turned boxer. He's actually an incredible boxer, and he's 30 years younger than Mike Tyson. But it's false reporting. They say that the fight will be called off, and it was an ulcer acted up, an ulceritis, I guess they called it.
I don't know where you stand on this fight, you guys, but I'm weirdly protective over Mike Tyson because I think in his early life he was taken advantage of. He was surrounded with bad people. He made a lot of mistakes in his life, but I think he's paid his debt to society. His tattoo, not a good one, but he's paid his debt to society. I think he's come out a better person for it. They are taking advantage of him again in this situation. I hate the idea of this fight. Brian, this seems like something that would entertain you, so maybe you don't feel as strongly about it, but I hate this.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait for this fight.
You know what I want? I want to hear him say s'mores milkshake.
S'mores.
I want to hear Mike Tyson say that.
I can't wait to get to Chicago to go to the Comiskey Park to see you get a s'more shake.
Who could say it then?
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And a reminder, of course, that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. As we come to the end of it, it never ends, never stops, just because the month highlights it. But it's a great way to have open conversations, talk to somebody if you need somebody. And boy, do we have something special going on next week. We have Brent Smith of Shinedown coming into the lounge. And he's working with the American Federation for Suicide Prevention on a very special lounge event with us to raise awareness and educate on the subject of mental health. Now, he's coming in because he wanted to do this at Q101.
Which is so cool. It's not often that an artist is like, hey, I really want to do something with you guys. We're usually like, please. You know, like you got to like pitch things. They're busy. A lot of people want to do stuff with them. Makes sense. But it's really cool. He wanted to do an event with us. He wanted to do something about mental health. You can tell, obviously, based on the recent music that he put out and everything. And I mean, that was kind of like a no-brainer for us. We're like, absolutely, you can do something here.
Yeah. So, you know, it could have just done a performance. It would have been great, but they're going to perform and host a panel discussion on mental health. So guests include, team members from the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, as well as author and therapist Ryan Dusick, who was a founding drummer of Maroon 5, and now he's a therapist and speaker. He wrote the book Harder to Breathe, a memoir of making Maroon 5, losing it all, and finding recovery. So this is going to be a really amazing panel, in-depth stuff, and we'll stream it on Q101.com's, Q101's Facebook page, all of our socials. But you have a chance to be here in the lounge for it, so go to Q101.com. You can watch live in person and live on the wonderful internet. So go to Q101.com for your chance to be a part of this with Q101 and Brent Smith of Shinedown.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So Lauren's coming in 15 minutes away. She's going to have all the information about the Lollapalooza after shows and tickets to one of those shows. So stay here right about 10 a.m. when she gets in. She will have that announcement for you and lay it all out. That's awesome. Just one more piece of the puzzle to Lollapalooza, which is only about 2 months away.
Coming.
It's coming fast. But in the meantime, takeaways right now, 312-591-8300. Case, what do you got from our listeners?
Marty in North Aurora checked in. Shrapnel from Brian's pants injured someone at a wedding over the weekend. Right in the eyeball.
I'm telling you what, manifest yourself. You can get into any kind of pants in your life. If you
It's
have,
a danger to society, but
right.
you can do it.
Kenzie, what do you got?
Tony said, Kenzie needs a 3-day weekend do-over. She looks like she was dragged behind a bus.
Jesus.
Facts.
Did you say that or post a picture? And Tony's just interpretation.
Is that good?
Good Lord.
Did that go well
Wow.
for Mama Bear?
And finally, Adam checked in the butt is the greatest Wheel of Fortune answer of all time.
Tavares. Right in the butt? No.
Now, wait to hear what it really was.
Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it. I think.
Yeah, this is the best. Okay, so people, I guess, find some of this stuff on the podcast.
That's right. If you want to know more about Brian's pants, we talked about that in the 6 o'clock hour. We poured one out for Morgan Spurlock, who was the man behind Super Size Me. He passed away over the weekend. And we've got a new Kenzie's Crimes, not related to Morgan Spurlock. All that and more on the Brian and Kenzie podcast feed.
You miss a moment, miss a lot. Whether you go to Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast, Q101.com, you'll find it there too.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.